Good morning, friends. The topic for today's discussion is citizenship. Citizenship. Guys, in the previous class we have seen the part 1 of our constitution, that is the union and its territories. So the part 2 of our constitution is citizenship, guys. Okay? Part 2 is citizenship. This comes under part 2. And the articles related to the citizenship is, we have article numbers 5 to 11, guys. Okay? 5 to 11. In this session we are going to see the importance of the citizenship and its constitutional provisions, guys. Guys, in this citizenship topic, we are going to see the topics like the article number 5 to 11, guys. Article number 5 to 11. Okay. So what are these articles are saying or mentioning about the citizenship of to become as Indian? Citizenship, okay? That is article numbers 5 to 11. After that, we have the Citizenship Act 1955. Citizenship Act 1955. Okay, guys. So this Citizenship Act have been amended many twice, and the latest one we have is the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Okay, Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Okay, guys. So after Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, the one more topic that we are going to see is overseas India and the person of Indian origin. Overseas, OCI and PIO. So what is the difference between OCI and PIO and its features? Okay, these are the topics that we are going to discuss as the stream citizenship, guys. Okay, so in this topic I am going to take the provisions of the article number 5 to 11, and along with that, in the Citizenship Act 1955, what are the ways of acquiring citizenship? Okay, those topics I am going to deal in this class, guys. Okay, the remaining 2 classes I will take, and the one class will be on the amendment 2019, guys. Very important, very important. We have many controversies about this amendment, guys. Okay, and after this I am going to take what is OCI and what is PIO. Okay, overseas citizens of India and a person of Indian origin, guys. Clear? Okay, I will start my discussion with the what is citizenship. So what do you mean by citizenship, guys? Citizenship is nothing but, guys, everyone want to have identity, guys. Everyone will be identity with some qualities, like this is Jack Fish, this is the Dexter. So like that, they having their distinct features, guys. Like that, we as a citizen of India means how. So what is the proof that you is the citizen of that country, that is XYZ country, of India, of Bangladesh, of Pakistan? So just to have the identity, guys, that is its importance, guys. Okay, and now we will see what are the importance. So what are the benefits if one gets citizen of India, guys? So what are the benefits that one get if he or she becomes the citizen of India? That is my topic for this is benefits. Okay, so first of all, the first and foremost important is, guys, we have fundamental rights. We have fundamental rights, but these fundamentals are not to everyone, who is living in India, or not to everyone who is living in India. Only the citizens, okay, only the citizens are having the fundamental rights, but the aliens who are not the citizens of India, they are not having the few fundamental rights. Means if we get this citizen of India, we are going to benefit with those fundamental rights. Means we are getting benefited from some fundamental rights. So what are the fundamental rights? So what are the articles that which we are going to benefit if we become the citizen of India? The article is, that is 15, 16, 18 to 19 and 20. 19, 29 and 20. Sorry, and 30. So if you become the citizen of India, you will benefit the provisions of this article, that is article number 15, 16, 18 to 19, 29 and the 30. Means is any importance else? the aliens means who is not a citizen of India but living in India will not having these articles to avail by him. Okay guys, only the citizens of India are having these articles. Very important guys, we may get this question as a prelims part. Okay, prelims part very important. So you should know what are these articles says. Okay, that we are going to see in our topic, that is fundamental rights. Just remember 15, 16, 82, 19, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20 and 30. So in this 30 they have indirectly mentioned guys. Indirectly mentioned. Okay. Guys clear? And after that, if you become a citizen of India, you have the right to vote. You have the right to vote. Means you can vote and you represent. Means you people can send a representative to the assembly in the state legislature or to the parliament at the central level guys. Means guys every year, for every 5 years we are having the elections. Okay. Means we are representing him. Yes, if we elect that person will go and fight for our rights and for our resources and for our development, such that we will become developed guys. Okay, so in this manner we are electing directly guys. Directly you are going casting your vote. That is the right to vote. Otherwise, if for alien it is not having this provision guys. That's why you as a citizen of India, if you are having the voting right, you should vote. You should vote. Okay guys, that is right to vote. So after that, not only right to vote, right to contest. Right to contest. Sir, right to vote is different from right to contest, sir. So right to contest means you can contest as an MLA, as an MP, as your wish. So if you are eligible for that post, you can have the right to contest. Whereas this provision and this provision will not be eligible for the alien case. Okay. So after this right to vote, and we have fundamental duties. Fundamental duties. So in the fundamental duties, these have been added through 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act through Part 4A, that is Article 51A. It is the duty of the citizen to, like that we are having the 11 fundamental rights. 11 fundamental duties guys. Okay, so this is about the fundamental duties. And very important thing, you know, there is we have the constitutional post. So those constitutional posts are for the only the citizenship. Okay, constitutional post. Constitutional post. You people are know what is constitutional post. Okay guys. Okay, so these constitutional posts are for the one who is a citizen of India. So if we become the citizen of India, we are having these many of benefits guys. These many of benefits. Okay, guys, clear? Shall move ahead? Done. Okay. So if we become the citizen of India, we will have the benefits, guys. Okay. This and along with this, we have few benefits. Guys. These are the important things that I am discussing here, guys. Okay, guys. After this, in this, that is in the constitutional provisions, we have Article 5 to 11, guys. And now I am going to take this session into, that is, I am going to compare the articles guys. Okay, article 5, 6, 7, 8 I am going to take it as a tabular form guys. I am going to take it as a tabular form. Means it is not like that guys. If you do it in this manner, it will become very easy guys. Okay, see guys, 5 to 11 we have articles, but this article says that at the commencement of the constitution. So these articles, these provisions we are having, that you can become the citizen of India with the provisions that is having article number 5, article number 6, article number 7 and article number 8 at the enforcement of the constitution guys, not now. Okay, so at the time of the enforcement of the constitution, if you are eligible for these provisions for any characteristics, then you can become the citizen of India. Then you have doubt guys. Sir, but right now we are in this era, in this year, so how we can get the citizenship? We have the provisions guys. Those provisions we have mentioned in this Citizenship Act 1955. Those also I am going to discuss. But these provisions are at the time of the commencement of the constitution only. Okay, Don't confuse guys. So now I am taking my discussion with the article number 5 guys. So if you see article number 5 guys, so article number 5 says, yeah, that is the first and foremost point is that is he should be domicile. He should be domicile. Okay, domicile and so if a person to become the citizen of India, he should be domicile and he was born in India. Born in India. Okay, his parents born in India. Parents born in India. Okay, and 5 years prior at commencement, at enforcement. Guys, I will make it simple. I will make it cryptic. Okay, guys. So through the article number 5, a person can become the citizen of India if he is a domicile. Guys, what do you mean by domicile? Permanent home. A country, that is permanent landmark. So he is a domicile. So domicile means he is having the permanent home. Permanent home. So if he is having the permanent home and that person is born in India, guys, then he will become the citizen of India. Yeah, and okay, domicile and born in India, guys. Otherwise, his parents born in India. If his parents born in India, he can become the citizen of India, guys. And after that, so if he has born in India, okay, and at least 5 years prior at the commencement of the constitution, guys. Guys, we have the commencement of the constitution on which one date? That is the 26th January 1950, guys. We have commencement of the constitution 26th January 1950. So if that person have there means if a person have living from 1945 at least, okay guys, then he will be eligible to become the citizen of India, guys. Guys, clear? Okay. So we have our constitution at enforcement 26th January 1950. So if a person have living for 5 years prior to this, okay, means approximately from 1945. So if a person has living in this, I mean in India, so from 1945, then he can become the citizenship of India through domicile, guys. Through domicile means he will be having the permanent home at that place. That is about the domicile, guys. That is clear, guys. That is about the citizen through the domicile character. And second one, guys, that is article number 6. If you see article number 6, we have, so it is called as the migration, guys. Okay, it is called as the migration. In this, it is clearly explained that if he was born in India, he was born in India. He was born in India. So either of his parents born in India or grandparents born in India. Guys, clear? If he was born in India, his parents were born in India, or his grandparents were born in India, and that is very, very important. And okay, and he was migrated to India before 19th August 1948. Before 19th July 1948, then he can become the citizen of India, guys. Guys, make very distinction, guys. He was born in India. He was born, our parents were born, or the grandparents were born in India, and he migrated to India before 19th July 1948, guys. What does it mean, guys? Generally, he was born in India, but if he has went to some other place, and if that person has migrated to India before 19th July 1948, then he will become the citizen of India through the provision article number 6. Okay, so what if he has migrated to India after 19th July 1948? So if he have migrated to India after after 19th July 1948 we have provisions, guys, that is the person should live in the country for 5 years and then he can apply for the citizenship. Guys, getting this? So if a person want to get the citizenship through this manner, so after he should live for 5 years. Okay, guys. So after the 5 sorry. Okay, guys. Okay. So if he was born in India and the parents were born at the grandparents were born in India, and here we have and if he again migrated to India before 19th July 1948, then he will be eligible as a citizen of India, guys. If he has become after 19th July 1948, he should stay for 6 months, guys. He should stay for 6 months. Sorry, guys, not 5 years, 6 months. Okay, he should stay for 6 months and then he can go for application. Then he can go for application, guys. Clear, guys? That is about 5, about the 6. This deals with the domicile. Okay, guys. But here we have migration. Okay, guys. Here we have migration. And after that, I am going to take this session to the article number 7. Okay, guys. What article number 7 is saying? So article number 7 says it is about the reverse migration. Reverse migration. Okay, guys. It is about reverse migration. Means if a person, guys, if a person has migrated to the Pakistan, before, that is, so through the 1st of March 1947, then he will not become the citizen of India, guys. Okay, so if that is about the reverse migration, guys. So this reverse migration says that if a person has migrated to the Pakistan, and that is after, so if he has migrated to Pakistan through, that is the 3rd March, the March of the 1st, that is 1947, then he won't become the citizen of India, guys. Okay, but if you want to become citizen of India and then he again recomes, so he again comes and through the permit, okay, guys, through the permit for resettlement or permanent return, guys. Okay, so if he migrated to Pakistan and again he come back through permanent resettlement, then again he should have to apply, guys. Again he has to apply. Okay, so this is about the reverse migration, guys. Okay, so the reverse migration says that if the person has migrated to Pakistan, sorry, guys, 1 minute. Sorry. So if the person has migrated to Pakistan, that is after the March 1st, 1947, then he will not be eligible as a citizenship of India. Citizenship of India means there is no option after. Okay, after 1st of March 1947. Okay, guys, means otherwise we have second option, guys. If he returned to India under permanent resettlement, then he has to again apply for the process. So again he has to stay for 6 months and he has to apply for the citizenship. This is so after resettlement, permanent settle. For permanent settle, guys, for permanent settle, so application 6 months. Guys, clear? This is about we call as reverse migration, sir. And after one, eighth one is if a person was born in India, okay, he was born, or his parents were born, if his grandparents were born, okay, born, parents or grandparents, okay guys, or grandparents has born in India and residing as a resident outside India. Okay guys, if they are residing as a resident outside India, then they can become the citizen of India through the registration through consulars. Okay, so consulars we are having, and so consulars we are having, guys. Okay, so consulars at the countries where they are staying, we are having the consulars are the representatives, diplomats. So with the, so if he registered with the diplomats, then he can become the citizen of India, guys. That is the registration at the consulars or diplomats. Okay guys, so this is about the provisions that we are having, guys. Guys, I want to have summary. That is the Article 5, domicile means permanent home. That is the domicile and born in India, parents born in India, and 5 years prior to the enforcement of the constitution, guys. Then he will become the citizen of India through domicile, guys. 6, he was born and the parents or the grandparents were born, and he returned to India from Pakistan before 19th July 1948. Then he will be citizen of India. But after 19th July 1948, he has to stay for 6 months and he should apply for the citizenship. And if we see the reverse migration, in the reverse migration, if the person has came to India after the first month 1947, he is not eligible to the citizen of India. Whereas he has the citizen of India if he settled for again after he came back through Pakistan for the resettlement in India. He has to give application and he can apply for the citizenship, guys. Okay, these dates are very important, and guys, not that much important. You should know which article speaks is what. And if you see article state, if he was born, the parents were born or the grandparents were born, and he is residing outside the India. If he is residing outside the India, then he can register at the consulars. Consulars are the diplomats. These are the article number 5, 6, 7 and 8. Very, very important, guys. You should know which article speaks with the which articles. Okay. So after that, I am going to take the 3 articles which are left. So we have article number 7. Okay. So what article number 7 speaks? Article number 5, 6, 7, 8. We are having article number 9, guys. So article number 9. So what does article number 9 speaks about? So article number 9 speaks about the citizenship of the voluntary. So if a person voluntarily acquires the citizenship of the other country, then his citizenship will be removed. Okay, means he is not a citizenship of India. He is not a citizen of India if he voluntarily acquires the citizenship of the foreign country. Okay, guys. Article 9, article number 9. Not citizen. He is not citizen when he has voluntarily acquired the citizenship of the foreign country. Means in India we are not having the provision of the dual citizenship. We are having only single citizenship. We are having only single citizenship. That is not citizenship of India if he voluntarily acquires the citizenship of the other country, guys. And article number 10, if we see, so article number 10 says a person deemed to be citizen of India. A person deemed to be citizen of India. Deemed to be citizen of India. Okay, and so on, and continues to be citizen of India. Continues to be citizen of India. Okay guys, a person deemed to be citizen of India and so on and continues to be citizen of India until unless we have any provisions or we have anything that is about, so anything that is not disturbing and about that the law. So if any law has made, if we are not, means this law is not disturbing us until and unless that is not disturbing, we can continue as the citizen of India guys. That is article number 10. And article number 11, very important guys. So article number, it says that Constitution itself has mentioned that it is the power of the Parliament to take care about the citizenship after the 26th January 1950. So after the commencement of the Constitution, if you want to deal with citizenship provisions, it will be the power of the Parliament to make the laws. That is, if we want to deal with citizenship after 26th January 1950, that is about the acquisition and the termination. That is acquisition and the termination guys. Okay, if that is acquisition of the citizenship and the removal of the citizenship, this will be taken by the Parliament. This will be taken by the Parliament. Okay guys, Parliament. So Constitution itself has mentioned, that is, it is the power of the Parliament to take care of the citizenship acquired and removal after 26th January 1950 guys. Guys, till we have studied the provisions till 26th January 1950. After 26th January 1950, the care will be taken by the Parliament. Those provisions are also mentioned in the Parliament, in the Constitution itself guys. Okay, this is about the article number 5 to 11 guys. Now I am going to take, we have, so for that we have, this is through article 11 we have the Citizenship Act 1955. Citizenship Act 1950 guys. In the Citizenship Act 1955, there we have two provisions. So ways of acquiring citizenship. Ways of acquiring. Ways of acquiring citizenship. Okay, so what are the ways of acquiring citizenship and the laws of citizenship? Laws of citizenship. So what are the ways if we are take? So these two we are going to see. So if you see these ways of acquiring citizenship, that is the first one, by birth. Okay, so again by birth we can acquire the citizenship guys. Okay, like how guys, right now I was born in XYZ 7 years, XYZ year. Okay, but as by birth I became citizen of India. Why? Because I was born in the year some after the commencement of the Constitution. So that is after commencement of the Constitution, it will be taken by the citizenship of, that is the Citizenship Act 1955. So by birth I have, right now I am citizen of India through my birth. Okay guys, done. Second one, through my descent. Descent means through my grandfather, my parents, like that. Like we have another, that is a hierarchy. Okay, through our ancestors. Through our ancestors, we can become the citizen of India. About those, it will speak of through descent. Okay, and third one by is by naturalization. By naturalization. So what does it mean by naturalization? One becomes the citizen of India, guys. So if that is, if he is not satisfied by birth and by descent and wants to become the citizen of India, the window is open guys. That is through by naturalization guys. So through naturalization means he can become the citizen of India guys. But we have few provisions guys. Those should be satisfied guys. Those provisions should be satisfied guys. But citizenship through naturalization will be given to those persons who is renews his previous citizenship, means he is free from any state's, any country's citizenship. That is important one. And the second one is, and this, the person who want to become the citizenship through naturalization, he should be person that is should not do any against constitution guys. Means like we have the provisions like he should know you should have the intention to become the citizenship of India, and he should know his language. So at least we have 22 languages in the 8 in the Schedule 8 of the Constitution. He should know at least one language efficiency. Okay, his character should be good, and but with all these things, it doesn't mean that he will get the citizenship. And very important thing is, citizenship of India through naturalization will be given to those countries which will give the citizenship to Indians. Mean, like for example, if a country X doesn't give the citizenship to India, okay, to other countries, then India also won't give those citizenship guys. Okay, this is an important feature guys. This is the important feature. So if a country X doesn't give the citizenship to the foreigners, okay, then if the foreigners comes from those countries, India are also not willing to give citizenship to those persons guys. Okay guys, this is true about the naturalization. And one more important thing is, through naturalization, within the 14 years, he should stay for the 11 plus 1 year. Means 11 plus 1 year means before his application, he should continuously stay for 1 year. But this 11 years should be with his discretion within the 14 years. Within the 14 years, this 11 years should be within his discretion. But before application, so he should stay for the 1 year continuously guys. So if he is eligible through these characteristics, then he can become the citizenship of India guys. The one more thing is incorporation territory. Incorporation of territory. Like we have recent guys, we have the Goa or the Puducherry. Means those territories have entered into the Union of India guys. So if we have incorporated those territories, then we are going to give citizenship to those to people who are living at this place. This is about the ways of acquiring citizenship. So if you see the laws of citizenship, that is the first one is the voluntary givership. Voluntary. Okay guys. So if a person wants to give his citizenship voluntarily, then he will lose his citizenship guys. Okay. And the second one is the through termination. Termination means, so if he acquired the citizenship of any other country, then automatically his citizenship will be removed. Okay guys, so that is the voluntary, the termination and the denunciation. That is, if he is against the Constitution of India, or if he is doing fraud, if he is against the Constitution of India, and if he got the citizenship through naturalization and jailed for 2 years, then he will lose his citizenship course. Those provisions we are having at this third level. Okay, that is, if he voluntarily give up citizenship, then his citizenship will be lost. The termination is okay. That is, if he acquired the citizenship of any foreign country. And third one is the through deduction. Okay, through deduction is okay. Through deduction, we can say that if he is doing any fraud, through deduction. So guys, I am not sure about this term. So if he is doing any fraud, or if he is against the Constitution of India, or if he has been jailed for 2 years and acquired citizenship through naturalization, then he will lose his citizenship guys. So these two are explained in the Citizenship Act 1955 guys. Guys, done. So with this I am closing my session guys. The other two topics, that is the distinction between the PIO and OCI. Okay, that is the one more topic, and the second topic is Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 guys. Okay, with this I am closing my sessions. Thank you one and all.